Have you ever asked yourself a question, and no matter how hard you try, the answer just doesn't come? Not because it's complicated, not because it's hidden, but because it was never given to you in the first place. That's Po, the dragon warrior, the hero, the one everyone looks up to. But underneath all of that, there's something missing, a gap, a question that was always there, just quiet enough to ignore, until one moment forces it to the surface. It starts small, a fight, just another mission, another day of being the dragon warrior. Everything is normal until it isn't. Po sees a symbol, and suddenly he freezes. Not physically, not completely, but mentally, like something inside him recognizes it before he does. And in that moment, he fails. Not because he isn't strong enough, but because something inside him isn't stable. And that's the first crack. Because up until now, Po's identity was simple. I'm the dragon warrior. That was enough. That explained everything, gave him purpose, direction, confidence. But now, that doesn't feel complete anymore. So he goes to the one person who should have answers, his father. And he asks the question he's been avoiding his entire life. Where did I come from? And the answer he gets isn't really an answer. A baby, a box, radishes. That's it. No past, no story, no explanation. Just a beginning without context. And that's where the real problem starts. Because when you don't know where you come from, you start questioning where you belong. And slowly, that question grows. It becomes louder, sharper, more uncomfortable, until it turns into something you can't ignore anymore. Who am I? And the worst part? There's no immediate answer. So Po does what people do when they don't understand something about themselves. He keeps moving, keeps fighting, keeps pretending everything is fine. But it isn't, because the question doesn't go away. It waits. And then it comes back at the worst possible moment, in front of his enemy, Lord Shen. And this time, Po doesn't just see the symbol, he sees the truth behind it. Not fully, not clearly, but enough. Enough to break him. Because Shen doesn't just fight him, he tells him something. Something Po was never ready to hear. You were abandoned. And just like that, the question changes. It's no longer just, who am I? Now it becomes, why wasn't I worth staying for? And that question cuts deeper, because it doesn't just challenge your identity, it challenges your value. Po starts to believe something dangerous, that maybe he wasn't enough. That maybe his story didn't start with love, but with loss. And that changes everything, because now every memory feels incomplete. Every part of his life feels like it's built on something missing. And for the first time, being the dragon warrior doesn't fix that. Strength doesn't fix that. Nothing does. So he breaks, not loudly, not dramatically, but internally, quietly. The kind of break where you stop understanding yourself, where nothing feels solid anymore. And this is where most people get stuck. Because when your past feels broken, you either run from it or you let it define you. Po does neither. And that's what makes his story different. Because instead of rejecting the past, he faces it, fully. Not just the pain, but everything that came with it. And what he realizes changes everything. His past wasn't empty. It wasn't meaningless. It wasn't abandonment. It was sacrifice. His parents didn't leave him. They saved him. And that realization shifts the question from why was I left to I was protected. And that changes how he sees himself. Because now his story doesn't start with loss. It starts with love. Even if it didn't last. Even if it hurt. And in that moment, Po understands something most people take years to realize. Your past doesn't define your worth. It explains your story. And once he accepts that, everything becomes clear. He stops fighting his memories, stops running from them, stops questioning his identity. And for the first time, he finds it, inner peace. Not because everything made sense, but because he finally accepted what didn't. So who is Po? Not just a panda, not just the dragon warrior. He is the result of everything he's been through. The pain, the love, the confusion, the growth, all of it. And for the first time, that's enough. Because sometimes the answer to who am I isn't something you find in the past. It's something you become when you stop running from it.